start off our project, you are going to get a piece of clay that looks like this. What I want you to do is to rip this in half. You could fold it and then rip it in half down the middle, or however you want. Next, I'm going to take one of my halves of clay and I'm going to roll it into a log. If either of the sides are kind of open, you want to make sure that those are closed so that it's all one piece of clay. Just going to keep rolling it until I got the size that I want. Then you're going to pinch one half of that piece of clay and you're going to turn it into a tail. So I'm just pinching, pinching, pinching. You don't want this to be too thin, otherwise it might fall apart. The end of the tail should probably be the thinnest, but don't make it super, super tiny. With the second piece of clay, I'm going to roll 4 little balls of clay and I'm going to turn these into my croc legs. So I'm just taking a piece, rolling it between my hands. Then I'm going to kind of turn this into a Tootsie Roll. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take my 2 hands and kind of move back and forth and back and forth. So here's my little ball. Now I'm taking it and going back and forth gently between my hands. So it should look kind of something like this. I could probably make that a little bit thinner. Then I want to make the 2 ends flat, so I could tap that on the table or I could just take my hands and press down to make both ends flat. This will make sure that our croc is able to stand. So there's one piece. I'm going to show you one more time. Take a little piece of clay, roll it into a ball as best as I can. Then I'm going to just flatten it, going back and forth with my hands like this. And you can see that these 2 pieces are not the same size, and that's okay. I can just take a little bit off and try again. That works a lot better. Again, tapping or just pressing down on both ends to make them flat. If you have some cracks in your clay, you could just take a little bit of water from your water cup and smooth that out, and that works just good. I'm going to do that 2 more times until I have 4 legs. Next, I need to add the legs to my croc's body. You're going to get this little tool. This is a scoring tool. And anything I want to attach to a main piece of clay, I need to scratch the part that is going to go sticking on my clay. So I'm going to scratch my leg and I'm going to scratch the place that I want to attach it. I'm going to add a little bit of water and then I'm going to smooth down the sides. So the reason why we score or scratch a piece of clay is because if we're adding little attachments, if we don't do that, it'll fall off. And it's just kind of better to smooth it down just for extra security. Again, I'm going to scratch where I want to attach, add some water, and then push down. And I'm going to smooth out all those gaps. Now, if you make a mistake, that's okay. The nice thing about clay is you can kind of just push the pieces around, or you can just kind of take off the piece and reattach again. It's not like a normal paper project where you have to throw the whole thing away. You can just easily fix things really fast. I'm going to attach these last 2 pieces, again, scratching where I want to attach. Making sure everything's really nice and smooth. I promise you, if you don't do this part, your legs or anything else you add will fall off, so don't forget this part. I'm making sure that my croc is standing up, and I'm kind of just pressing down a little bit just to make sure everything's flat. Next, I'm going to make 2 more balls of clay, and these are going to be the eyes for my croc. Again, I'm going to scratch where I want to attach and press down, scratch where I want to attach, press it down, again smooth everything out so that it will stay. kind of shaping the eyes a bit. Now my eyes are kind of big, but if you want yours to be a little bit smaller, that's totally fine. Then I'm going to take a marker cap and add 2 circles as part of the eye. And then I'm going to take this little wooden tool, I'm going to take the end of it and make 2 pupils for my crocagator. Next, you're going to get a popsicle stick, or you might get a different tool. I found this part a little bit hard to do with the popsicle stick. So just a flat tool, and make a little cut where the gator's mouth is going to be. I'm not cutting all the way, as you can see, because that would maybe ruin my project a little bit. And then I'm just gonna smooth everything out. If you want yours to look more like a crocodile, you could probably pinch the snout so it's a little bit more narrow, or you could just leave it rounded like an alligator. Then I'm going to take the end of my tool again and make 2 holes for the nose. Next, I'm going to add some more texture to my croc by pinching the parts of the tail so that it makes these little bumps. I'm just taking my thumb and my pointer finger and pinching the clay. I'm not doing anything too fancy. If you would like to do this a different way, then go ahead and do that. But again, I don't want to make anything too thin. Otherwise, it might crack and break in the kiln. I'm going to smooth out any parts that I want to be smoother, no cracks. Next, I'm going to take my extra clay and make some more details. So if you would like to add some teeth, you could add more teeth. If you want to add more bumps along the sides of the tail, you could do that as well. Just remember, anything, again, that you want to attach, you need to scratch and add water so that it stays. You could also use your tools to add more textures, like scales with your little wooden tool or with the marker cap to make your croc look more realistic. You could also add claws to the bottom of the legs or the feet if you would like to. This is the fun part where you just get to add a lot of details. I think the more details you add, the cooler it looks. I'm gonna finish this up and smooth everything out, add more details, and I'll show you what it's like when it's done. Okay, here's my finished croc. When you are done with it, make sure that you put it on your name spot on the card. Have fun.